It's daytime television, what can I say? Here he is, it's Rylan.
How are you?
Good. Well, we're very good, son, but what are you up to?
I don't know.
I
thought, do you have to take your clothes off? Is that the next thing?
No, Janet.
Do you keep your clothes on?
I keep every single part of my clothing on, and so does everyone else, for that matter.
But does it get awkward? I mean, it's...
Did you not just see that clip?
Yeah, but
yes,
I mean,
that was the daytime version that you could show on this show. But yeah, I mean, I filmed the show actually over a year ago. No, about a year ago now. And this past year, every time it's like popped up like, oh, sex rated's coming soon, and I'm like, what did I do? I keep joking, saying it's the start of the end for me now.
But I've just said, like, I'm your TV mum, and I'm going, oh, what's she doing? What about Mummy Linda?
So what is the premise?
How is she, by the way?
She's good, thank you. Yeah,
Sorry,
she's good. She's watching now. Hello, Mum.
Hello, Mum. Hello, Linda.
She's watching now. Yeah, no, she's fine. But the premise of the show is Channel 4 and E4 wanted to do a show that was sex positive, which I think is very important. And, you know, I've been a single man now for 2 years, and I believe that you should be positive about things like sex. But wanted to have an entertainment spin to it, but not horrible. So you'll come on the show, and I'll ask you, Colleen, to
He's
rate...
looking worried.
Yeah, no. I'll ask you to rate yourself out of 10 for a number of different subjects.
Right.
To do with sex.
Oh.
And we'll have a little chat, and you'll say, I'll rate myself an 8 for this, a 7 for this, a 10 for that, a 6 for that. Then we get 2 of your exes out. That have also rated you as well.
Oh.
And we compare those numbers. And then I'm sure that everyone, me included, we've all got things we could work on in the bedroom. We then have our sexpert, Ruby, lovely Ruby Rare, and we'll do a sexercise, which is what you just...
What, with the ex?
No, with me.
I do a exercise with you, like pelvic floor.
No. I mean, that one there was talking about food, because that lady there, I think that one's on tomorrow night, that was Elizabeth. She's a chef. So she wanted to incorporate her job more into her personal life, and because she's a chef, we got food involved. But I'm telling you now, if anyone ever got in my bed with food, I'll be kicking them right out.
What do you do with someone that's got goats?
I mean, but I'm sure we could find something.
Rylan, I have already been rated by an ex.
Have you?
My fourth husband sold, when I did I'm a Celebrity, without my permission, my fourth husband sold the story of his relationship with me to one of the tabloids, and the headline was, Jungle Janet is a beast in bed.
We might have to get you on as the sexpert next.
But listen, that is it's episode 2 tomorrow night, sex rated on E4. But also I want to talk to you about this. So this is the book 10, but now 11.
It is 10, now 11,
So it's out in paperback, and you've added a chapter.
Yeah, because you know what? When you do a book, you know, I've been lucky now I've done 2 books. You do the hardback version, which is the one that you launch with, and then a little bit down the line you bring out the paperback. And I just felt like if I'm going to bring a paperback out, 7 months, nearly a year after I brought the last one out, I might as well update it and just add on an extra chapter. And because it was about 10 years, it's now 11 years, oh my God, I thought, well, call it 11.
And how did you find that? Because it wasn't easiest of times. You have to write about it.
No, yeah. It was really difficult when writing 10 originally, and you very kindly wrote a chapter for the book as well, which was just so lovely and meant your words meant so much to me. But yeah, I think when you read it, you can see the difference in sort of headspace I was in from writing 10 to this extra chapter that's now 11, and a lot changes in a year. A lot can change in a week, a day, a month. So yeah, it's like 2 different people's books.
Do you feel stronger mentally now? Because you've talked very openly about how, you know, you were really mentally struggling.
Yeah, I was really ill, and, you know, I want to publicly, even though I've done it in the book, I want to say publicly thank you to you and Dad. Like Ruth and Eamon, when I was really, really ill, you both... I didn't want to see anyone, and my mum and my sister-in-law had arranged for you to come to see me. And you saw me, like, you know, and I remember I've never seen Eamon upset before.
He was very...
So seeing Eamon upset was almost like a bit of a wake-up call. Oh, God, I'm bad. Like, I'm really bad.
But look at you now.
I know, I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm good. I'm in a good place, and, yeah, just making my own decisions, which I know sounds crazy. I'm a 34-year-old, I'm 35 next month, but
But I
Making
think
my own choices.
It's a good indication of how far you've come, because then you got asked by the BBC to do that podcast.
Yes.
Called How to Be a Man.
How to Be a Man.
Because you hit the nail on the head that for most men today, life's a lot tougher.
Yeah,
and
life...
they've got things to contend
Definitely.
with.
I mean, How to Be a Man is... I want to shout out to Louis Theroux, because I've worked with Louis a few times, and he had this idea and said, I think this would be really good for you. And the whole concept of How to Be a Man was I'd speak to 10 different men, all stereotypes. So you'd have a trans man, the boxer, the this, the that. And you would talk about what it means to them to be a man. What is a man? And I'd start the podcast with the same question. What is a man? And no one could instantly answer what it is to be a man.
And you had Janet, the only woman.
And I said, I want one woman on the series, and I need it to be a woman who is a woman, but in a man's world. And then there she was. And you very kindly came on the podcast, and you were just amazing, because I had to talk to you. I was like, I want Janet Street-Porter, and I'm not doing it.
I said to Janet this morning, not because you were on today, I listened, to Janet's, it was fascinating, but also because you had worked so much in a man's world and had to deal with men.
I don't do those kind of interviews normally, but what had impressed me about Rylan was what a good interviewer he was and how smart you were. And...
Don't tell anyone, it ruined the image. Talking about sex tomorrow night.
No, but seriously, I mean, it was a serious subject and you handled it really well.
No, thank you, I appreciate it. And you know what, I recorded that series, we'd done it quite quick in all fairness, and then I flew to Italy and Greece to film 2 of my new shows and didn't really think about it. And I come back and everyone was going, I listened to this How to Be a Man. It was one of those things that I didn't know people would really like. But, I mean, like, my name was in, like, The Guardian. I was like, I've made it, mother. I've done it. But, yeah, it was great. It was
Rylan, you spoke about amazing people earlier. Your mum is absolutely wonderful.
Oh, my number one.
You touched on her earlier. What's happened to her? And is she OK now?
Well, yeah, she's all right, yeah. So I took her on her first holiday in 10 years. That's how she ended up. Classic Linda, throwing herself on the floor. No, she literally she tripped on, like, the smallest lip between, like, 2 tiles. And, yeah, unfortunately, she broke her leg, she broke her arm. And I thought, in, like, my sort of optimistic mind, when she'd done it, it's fine, we'll still be able to fly home on Thursday, we can get a scene at home. Next thing you know, I'm there for another week, I'm booking private jets. All right, it's got to be a medical jet. It's been a nightmare, to be honest, but there she is, living her high life. But yeah, she's good. She's at home watching now, but I put a little thing up yesterday because we had to go to hospital yesterday. She needs to have another surgery.
But then you are naughty, because then you posted on Instagram, you raised me up as she was coming up in the lift. You know.
There she is, having a lovely time. The best part about it all, she's holding on to the Louis for dear life. Like, I was going to take it over. But the reason why it was making me laugh, because it was the slowest lift in the world. And I felt like we were there for about an hour. But no, she went and see the surgeon yesterday over here, and she's going to have another surgery, hopefully end of this week, beginning of next.
Well, Linda, we love you, Linda.
We love you.